I feel like I'm talking weird because...
You don't have to talk weird, just talk to me. Just talk to me, baby!
Oh yeah.
Hello, that's my friend.
Yo.
His name's Kirk. Kirky boy? That's what you can call him, but
Captain.
you can't because this is a video. I'm doing another video about Star Wars. I'm kind of sick of talking about Star Wars, a little bit.
We love Star Wars.
We love some of the Star Wars. Like, for instance, the new one.
Oh, that was amazing.
Not, though. We don't. It's bad. It's really bad.
You like it? What's wrong?
Let's go. First topic, I've decided, is Palpatine. Palpatine is a good guy, isn't he?
Palpy boy.
So it's pretty great that he's back, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's just they had no other... Well, they had other villains. And they were like, yeah, but we still need to milk the old characters.
So I think the issue is... Okay, we all know it, I guess. I love The Last Jedi. Okay, the little controversial topic for you right there.
Why though?
Because it's good and it does different things, and I appreciate it for that. I think it's bold. Fuck you. But clearly they weren't integrating it as a trilogy together.
Yeah.
All of the people behind it, and clearly Abrams, my boy Abrams, wanted to keep Snoke as the real bad dude.
I mean,
which didn't happen.
I never really liked Snoke either. Anyway, he's just like the same thing. He's another creepy looking old dude with, oh yes,
Wow.
we're here to destroy
It's Star Wars,
everything
right?
from the background. Yeah.
Okay, the thing that I always thought about Snoke was that, like, everybody was going on and on about, oh my god, who's Snoke? What does this mean? Whoa! And I'm just like, dude, he's an evil guy. I don't fucking know. Like, what? It's an evil guy, that's all. And that's all that it did turn out to be, which I was glad about because everybody went crazy about their theories, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm so sick of your theories.
He's a test tube baby.
Which is arguably worse.
But see, I can see why people like The Last Jedi, but then at the same time, it's like, oh, it's not for the fans of Star Wars. It's good as its own movie, I think, and it kind of breaks some of the traditions of Star Wars. But that's not really what fans wanted, I don't think.
Okay, I can see what you mean. I feel the same way about maybe the whole trilogy, except maybe the Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens is the, I guess.
I think that movie actually is a good example of being for Star Wars fans.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But the ones after that, I think, are like... Okay, so if I'm talking about this movie or these movies at work, and I'm like... the consensus of whether you like them or not. I feel like the normies are cool with it, because they're like, yeah, okay, lightsabers sick, that's fine, like, whatever. It's Star Wars. Like, what do you expect from Star Wars? And I'm sitting there after The Force Awakens, loving these characters and being super invested and being like, oh my god, where are they going to take Kylo Ren? Like, he's such an interesting character. I love in The Force Awakens that he's just kind of a little bitch.
Yeah,
he's just like this mad guy, and it's like, you can kind of relate to it because he's just a kid.
He's kind of unpredictable too because of
totally
how he is.
Like, he just wants to prove himself. That's all it's about, and he'll do anything out of anger to do so. Yeah. So I'm watching The Force Awakens. I watched it last night, coincidentally, and I'm like, sick. Like, this is so good. This is such a good setup. And retroactively, as I'm watching it, I'm like, just getting pissed off because they fucked that up.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I know a lot of people have been saying this, but they needed a roadmap. And you can tell if you look at them as a trilogy, it's like, first one sets up all this shit, and then J.J. Abrams just comes in and he's like, no, not J.J., the other guy. Ryan Johnson. Yeah, he's like, fuck all this shit.
Pretty much. But that's what I liked about The Last Jedi, because they're like, let's, what's the word? Get expectations fucking right off. Yeah. That's not the right word, but it's another way of saying what I'm trying to say. And I like that. They killed Snoke, and I'm like, oh my god, I wasn't expecting that.
I like that. I don't know. If they were going to do that, they needed...
But they fucked
they
up
needed
the
to
next
follow... I don't know.
It fucked up the next one. That's the big issue. And back on topic, that's where we get Palpatine, my boy. Okay, so we've explained it in context, behind the scenes, why he is back. In universe, he is back. The explanation for him being back is Because I'm evil. Because it's unnatural.
As I pulled the strings from the background, I made Snook. This doesn't make... they were like, what do we do?
I think that's probably what it was. Like, they're freaking out, pretty much.
I kind of liked seeing the Emperor again, though. Even though it was really dumb.
Did you?
Yeah. Like, he's just so... I don't know. Because I love that character. Yeah, I guess that's just nostalgia, though, right?
I like how cartoonishly evil he is.
Yeah.
I do like that. That's all he's got, really. He's not really even that much of an interesting character. Even in the original one. That's another problem.
Yeah.
They do the exact same thing that they did with the original. Again, they're like, oh, Emperor's the real bad guy. Darth Vader, Kylo Ren, they can be redeemed. Yay! And then kill the Emperor, and that's how it ends. It's like the same shit, and that's what people said about The Force Awakens as well. Like, and they're just doing the same thing.
This whole trilogy's been pointless. Like, and, I mean... Every movie, it seems like they have a win, but the First Order's just like back in action next movie.
The First Order is just the Empire.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I guess that kind of happens in the other ones, but we knew like the big bad guy wasn't dead, the Emperor, in the original trilogy, and at least when they rebuilt the Death Star, it's like in construction, you know. It's still kind of dumb.
That's the other thing. There's so many Death Stars. There's so many of this. But I don't mind, and I don't think most people mind. I'm okay with people doing the same thing if the characters are kind of different and if I like them and if I care.
Yeah.
Which I did in the 2 previous movies. I don't know if you did in The Last Jedi. I did. I like everyone in The Last Jedi. Yeah, they go on the casino planet, whatever. Like, sure, that's kind of useless. But regardless, I still liked all of the characters. I was watching The Force Awakens last night, and I'm like, Finn has so much more personality in this than he does in Rise of Skywalker. He
does, yeah. See, I don't think he had... I don't know. I don't think he grew much as a character in The Last Jedi, though. Or... I don't know,
Maybe you got me there.
I'm trying to think of what even happens.
He was going to sacrifice himself, but then Rose is like, nah, boy, and kissed him.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And people hated that.
Well, it was kind of stupid.
I think that he should have sacrificed himself personally. It just would have been a heroic end.
Would that ship have blown up that thing if he flew into it?
Probably not, but it would have been his intentions. And that's all that matters. It's the thought. It
would have been funny if he just like flew in and then he just dies.
Now that I'm thinking about it, that might have pissed people off even more.
Okay, if we're talking about The Last Jedi...
Yeah, which we seem to keep going back at, because you can't talk about Rise of Skywalker without
I don't know
Jedi.
what to talk about with that movie. It's so confusing. Because shit just happens.
In which one?
The Rise of the Skywalker.
Yeah, no, that's true. Like, even in my reviews, I kept going back to talking about The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Because there's just inherently more to talk about in that.
Yeah, there is.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, because it is kind of a polarizing movie.
Which is why you get your hate and your love for it.
Yeah.
Rise of the Skywalker, Rise of Sky... I always say the. That's wrong. It's wrong, but that's okay. Rise of Skywalker...
Is it Rise of Skywalker?
It's The Rise of Skywalker. Cool, we got the title right. The Rise of Skywalker plays it safe in every single way that it can.
It does?
I think it does. Do you not?
I don't know.
Because they reverse everything that fans complained about in The Last Jedi.
I guess they kind of do, but they do it in the worst way.
They got rid of Rose because people complained about her.
They're just like ass kissing as hard as they can with these movies.
It's like they were scared of bringing that character Rose back.
Yeah.
So they're like, gotta do homework.
Yeah.
Can't
come. Oh, can we talk about...
No.
Oh,
we have fun here. What a zing. What a zinger burger.
How could you do this?
I don't know.
Can we talk about Luke in The Last Jedi?
The Last Jedi.
We're back on The Last Jedi. Well, that's one thing fans really didn't like, how Luke was in The Last Jedi.
Even Mark Hamill himself, I actually watched a video the other day where he was like saying that a Jedi wouldn't exile himself like this, and Luke Skywalker himself is always optimistic and he's like the symbol of light and shit.
Yeah.
But that's a cartoon, and I am quite glad in buying into this guy being a real human and feeling bad about something and fucking off.
I know he feels bad, but it feels like he should have done more to fix things rather than...
Okay, the main reason he feels bad is because of Kylo Ren, right? I'm correct in that, yes?
Which it was kind of his fault, in a way.
Which I like, because it links all these characters together.
Yeah.
But that's not from The Last Jedi. Again, I was watching The Force Awakens, and they establish all this. That's where they don't connect. The Force Awakens sets up all these things, Last Jedi knocks them down for fun. And then it's like building blocks, you know, or some shit. It's like they're trying to make the word Star Wars and building blocks. And J.J. Abrams has the wars at the bottom made up in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
And then Rian Johnson is like... and then, like, instead of getting just like the start of the star or something until they've built it up in the does this analogy make sense?
Yeah, no.
J.J. Abrams wants to build the whole thing in one, you know?
Yeah, I think it was really hard to try and make the rise of
Can't get the
rise
right.
of the Skywalker.
No, the rise of Skywalker.
The Rise of Skywalker. I'm trying to think about how you would make that movie better, though. And I feel like you just need to scrap the whole thing.
The thing that I wanted them to do was make General Hux the bad guy. He was like position number 2, whatever you call it, General, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't know, he just felt like he was he was always kind of trying to one-up Kylo Ren, but he was obviously weaker physically.
It would be cool to see someone who's not like an evil magician, like Jedi.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he had the power because of the First Order. Like, if he was now in charge of that, he could have been legitimately intimidating without being physically a fucking monster or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like they were setting that up from the start because he has that big speech in the first one, if you remember, where it's like, "It's the last day of the Republic!" And then where'd that go?
The big Nazi speech,
the big Nazi speech. As we shall call it henceforth.
Well, don't they call them in the Rise of Skywalker? They're then called the Final Order?
I don't know, something like that. Who cares? It's finer details. That's the thing that Star Wars fans in particular always get hung up on. They're like, this name, whatever. Who cares? The
oh no,
guys.
I'm just thinking.
Anyway, not you. I'm pointing, but I didn't mean you. You specifically. And you're an asshole for it.
But there's always this old Nazi stuff in... I don't know what my point is, but... I think there's no point.
Star Wars is for Nazis, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what's the next topic? I should probably say, by the way, I didn't really watch Star Wars growing up. I don't really care about the originals all that much. They're fine. Prequels are unwatchable, but not because I am invested. They're just boring. Now this boy loves them all, except the new ones, which I'm the opposite of.
I like The Force Awakens. That's probably my favourite of the new ones. But
The Force Awakens is my favourite Star Wars movie.
Nah. Nah. I think that's a lot of new fans, though. A lot of new fans would say that. I guess I have the nostalgia goggles on. Okay, so I love the original trilogy, and I think they're good movies too. I love the prequels, and part of that's watching them as a kid. But they're also, if you rewatch them now, they're so funny. They're so
you
dumb.
ironically like that. Yeah. I actually didn't know that. I don't think you've told me that before.
I mean, they're so good. Just George Lucas can't write dialogue.
I'm haunted by the kiss that you should never have given me. My heart is beating, hoping that kiss will not become a scar.
It's always all sad, irritating.
No one is a human in these movies.
Nah.
Is the thing.
From my point of view, the Jedi are evil.
And so I can't. I just literally can't. Like, I tried watching Phantom Menace last year or something, the first time in a long time. I could not finish it.
That one's pretty boring, I'll admit. But I love the end, duel. That's
Darth Maul
cool.
is a cool fucking looking character. That it's superficial. I don't know who he is as a character.
Yeah.
But he's cool. And I
He's
like
just
it.
so cool.
He really is.
They needed more Darth Maul in episode 1.
He really is cool.
But yeah, I love the third one because of how dumb it is too. I'm trying to remember some of the lines from those movies. There are just so many zingers like, I saw a security hologram footage of him killing younglings. Just all the dialogues like that, and I love it. It's just cheesy and it works. But yeah, no, the original trilogy... Actually, some of that's weird too, like how Luke and Leia are nearly in a relationship, and then they're brother and sister.
Yeah. Yeah. I like A New Hope more than Empire Strikes Back, which is apparently a controversial opinion, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Nerds like Empire Strikes Back more than nerds. Not me, I'm not a nerd.
I mean, for people who watched it when it came out, it was probably pretty shocking that Darth Vader was...
Yeah, I mean, I guess,
Luke's
but I've
father.
never seen it in that lens because you know that.
See, same here. I grew up... I actually liked... When I was a kid, I liked the 6th one.
Return of the Jedi,
Return
right?
of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just a cool ending, I thought.
All I remember is he flips a lot with a green lightsaber. They're like...
Wait, Luke? Or...
Yeah, Luke.
Oh, like in the...
They're on
on
the ship
Tatooine,
thing?
yeah.
And then that
The
dude
desert
falls
planet.
into the pit thing.
Ah,
and,
yeah.
And he dies.
I love that. I don't know why. I love that.
Point is, I'm not the biggest fan of the original trilogy, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to get hung up on all the details because I probably don't know them.
I feel like I'm just getting hung up on
We'll get them wrong.
thinking about the originals now.
Anyway, moving on. Raylo.
Yeah,
We've
Raylo.
got to talk about Raylo, right? So, I was talking to somebody at work about this movie. She liked it more than me, but regardless... she said when that moment happened where they kissed, like, collectively, the whole audience just, like, groaned. They're just like, everyone. I nearly laughed. I couldn't believe it, to be honest, and I'm not the type to laugh at, like, bad movies.
I laughed a few times watching that movie, actually. But yeah.
I rolled my eyes a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, they've always had a connection,
Yeah.
the characters. Obviously, I don't know, they can talk through the Force and whatever they do and all that shit. Cool. And he's like conflicted because he wants to be a good guy. Best part of the whole trilogy. I love that character. But they're not romantic, right?
What about when he's all Ben Swallow with his shirt off and then...
I have heard this argument.
Who wouldn't want Ben Swallow, you know what I'm saying?
That's a point. I don't know if it's a good one.
I mean, it's kind of dumb. It is really dumb the way it happens. I wasn't surprised they went there.
That's weirdly a good point.
I mean, if they wanted to do that, it needed more setup. I mean, you can't... He's so... Like, he's done some really terrible things. If you know Star Wars, though, like, in kind of the extended Star Wars universe and stuff...
Something I'm so aware of.
I don't know, the dark side, it's not... It's like you're not yourself, kind of, when you're doing all that evil shit. So, I don't know, characters they'll have different versions of themselves, and people won't really judge them for their actions with that, because I think the idea is like the Force has a lot of power over your actions.
It's like being mind controlled or some shit.
Sort
Possessed?
of. Yeah, it's like sort of they're possessed by their anger and things.
I'm okay with him being redeemed. He killed lots of people, blah, blah, blah. And in real life, it's like, yeah, you can never forgive somebody like that. But in a movie, it's a character, and it's like, those were faceless characters that we never met anyway, except for Han Solo.
And we know stormtroopers were actually all orphans, too.
Do they mention
And the heroes just like
They
gun
do.
tons of them down.
that? They always... In Rise of Skywalker, when they're on the, like... floating dirt, like...
Bam!
Like,
nice,
exactly. They're just like, whoa! Like, and it's people dying. Like, obviously they're like the bad guys or whatever, but it is pretty funny that like Finn was one of them.
Yeah,
he's just like, yeah, go down.
Fuck stormtroopers.
I do like that detail. So you don't hate Raylo as much as me, then?
No, I didn't hate it. I thought it was dumb. Why does it piss you off?
Not only did they kiss, and I felt that was not quite earned.
Yeah.
I felt like that wasn't earned, but whatever, I can get over it. Then he dies instantly. And it's like, then why bother?
And here's the thing, why don't they just like heal each other in a loop? Oh, I'll heal you and then die.
Yes!
Oh, I'll heal you then die.
That was going to happen.
We're stuck. The story can't progress.
Also they can just heal anything now?
Yeah, that was so stupid.
It's pointless.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You and me and you both hate when magical powers and stuff have no defined limit.
Yeah.
I feel like the previous movies did a bit of a better job.
They did.
People complain that Rey is overpowered.
Yeah, well, I'd agree.
Whatever. I don't. We'll get to that in a second.
What's she bad at?
She is in this. In one part in The Force Awakens, and I only remember this because I watched it last night, she's shooting a gun and she has the safety on, and she's like, the safety, silly me.
She does nothing wrong, and she doesn't have to learn anything from what I've seen. Like, she can just fly the Millennium Falcon, like, yeah, I'm
but
fucking
she's a
good
Star Wars character.
And I've been on this...
Why is that bad?
Because she's grew up on a planet and never left, and, like, how does she fly a spaceship?
I'm okay with action movie characters just being good at stuff. I don't care.
But it makes no sense.
I don't need to see them training to be like, yeah, cool.
I love the training sequence.
It's like if you go to watch John Wick,
Empire Strikes Back.
Do you have to watch him training
to
buy into?
You can tell John Wick's like a badass.
It's a bad example because he's got a history of being a badass.
Yeah.
Okay, I get. You say badass.
Badass.
Anyway.
So Rey grew up on this planet in the middle of nowhere without flying ships, and she's good at flying ships.
Yeah. Because girl power.
No, it's not. That's not the issue, though. Like, I mean, Luke. If you look at Luke, he's not just picked up on Tatooine. Oh yeah, I'll fly the Millennium Falcon.
That's
easy
fair.
peasy. He's not like, oh yeah, I'll just use all the Force powers in the first movie. That's easy peasy. It takes him a while. He learns shit.
I think she proves herself to be smart. She can fix some stuff and whatever, and that makes sense because she knows bits and pieces. Because she's
I believe that part.
What's she called?
A scavenger? What?
Scavenger, whatever. No, there's another word. Let's just go with scavenger.
A scrapper or something?
And I think she proves herself there. The only part in The Force Awakens that I think is a bit much is that she beats Kylo in the fight at the end.
Yeah.
Which is annoying because 2 seconds after that planet, the thing splits and they're apart. She should have just narrowly escaped that fight. But the other argument is that he was injured and he's also inexperienced. They're both
But he's not.
sort of inexperienced.
He was like trained since he was a kid.
But he's still young. He's on.
I don't know. They're around the same. He's probably older.
I guess. I think she's alright. Until Rise of the Skywalker, where she puts her hand in the sky and stops ships, giant ships, and lightning and heals everything.
And kills Chewbacca, but doesn't.
It makes no sense that he's fine.
You know what
He went in the ship and they blew it up. There's another one!
I hated too. C-3PO's like dying, and then he's like, at least I'm here with my friends or some shit. But his best friend's not even there.
Wait a minute. Who is he with?
C-3PO. He's with the new cast.
None of them are his friends.
Exactly. And is he even in the last couple?
He's briefly in The Force Awakens because he has a red arm for like 2 seconds and he meets them.
So maybe off screen they're friends.
Off screen is a bad excuse.
Yeah,
but I think that's what it is.
That's what it felt so weird when he said that.
This is off topic, but that's my problem with a lot of the Marvel movies. Even though I love Marvel and I'm a Marvel fanboy, everything happens off screen. Like all the relationships develop off screen. But that's irrelevant. That's Marvel.
Well, it's Disney now. They're both Disney, and it's
Ooh.
Yeah, I hate Disney.
Conglomerate.
I don't hate Disney.
Business.
Corporations, man.
Fuck the man.
Corporations.
Yucky. Anyway. The trio. That's what we're talking about now, the trio.
Yeah, okay. They don't have a relationship.
They are not a trio. Basically.
Are they friends?
I feel like they barely know each other. They don't really spend any time in the movies together.
They're best friends.
Well, apparently they're gay, some of them, and then they're not, or something.
Wait, what?
People wanted Finn and Poe to be gay.
Actually,
everyone thought they were gay, and
Finn
then
and
they
Poe
weren't.
might be closer than.
Oh yeah, no, they're totally close.
But I don't. I don't think they're romantic.
I guess Finn and Rey kind of have a relationship.
Yeah.
A bit, and I guess he and Poe do, but I don't think Rey and Poe do.
The thing is, I think they need to have had more moments together, like where I guess someone would save the other, or I don't know. Think of like The Empire Strikes Back, when Han's kind of this character. He's kind of his own. He's a scoundrel. He does his own thing. But then we see in Empire Strikes Back, he's on Hoth. And he's getting ready to leave, but Luke's gone missing, right? You remember that? And the monsters got him. It's like a...
Oh, yeah, and he's hanging upside down.
Yeah, the snow monster.
Yeah.
And then you see actually Han saves him. But that really, like... I felt like it made me sympathise with Han more too. And like you see that he actually... I don't know. He kind of does have a heart, even though he's...
Yeah, for sure.
And they really care about each other. And I can't think of many moments like that in the
That's
new
a good
movies.
point. I think that they would, but it would feel more like an action-y thing
Yeah.
than like a real, you're putting yourself in danger for the other person type of way.
Yeah. Because it's always just like fun, fast-paced action.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly what
Bounce
it is.
around, kill some... yeah. Explosion! Wow!
Pretty much. That's literally what they're like.
Yeah.
But I do, for me, it's more the small moments. Like, and you do get some of them again in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Where I remember there's this one part where just Finn is going up to look at something and he puts his hand on Rey and she's like, oh, get off of me. And it's like just little things like that.
I know it's... Yeah.
There are just little character moments, and I feel like there was no time in Rise of Skywalker for anything like that.
No.
They had to keep moving things along.
Because they had a bunch of plot points that they had to...
It was a checklist.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, we need to do this, we need to do this. And the characters acted that way too. Nobody talks to each other. There's no dialogue going on. They're just like, this thing does this thing. And we need it.
We didn't talk about the dialogue, actually. And the dialogue in that movie, it's just so strange. It seems to not fit a lot of the time. And I don't know what it was about it, but it felt really robotic,
Yeah, that's a fucking great word. Thank you for that. I very much agree with that. It's like... Yeah, I don't know. It's like the prequels, actually.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of. I was thinking, did George Lucas... did George Lucas have a hand?
But I didn't think the last two felt like that.
No. They... Not like... Yeah, it felt like they were...
Even though I didn't think their relationship was that built up, the ones that...
They still felt like real people.
The people that did talk to each other, felt more like real people.
Yeah, definitely. Do you remember any of the planets?
Look, I don't, but I'm the wrong person to ask.
Yeah.
So, you tell me, expert. I know Hoth, I know Tatooine.
Yeah.
That's about it.
They had a new planet, and it just looks like Tatooine, but it's not Tatooine, and it's called something else, and I can't remember.
Well, that's where Rey is from as well. Jakku.
Were they back on Jakku?
I don't know if they were in this, but I know that she's from Jakku, and that's basically Tatooine.
Yeah, now we've got 3 Tatooines then, I think. Because this was a new desert planet that looks exactly the same as the other ones.
They should go to more cities.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. Yeah, well, you want to see how people in this universe kind of live.
That's a big problem that I have with especially the new trilogy.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't feel like... It's Star Wars, yeah? It's meant to be galactic. It's meant to be the whole universe is in this war.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like that at all to me. Because, like everyone complained about in The Last Jedi, they go to the casino planet. What are their issues with the war? They don't seem to be involved.
Yeah, they're not.
Kind of hard to grasp who is actually invested in this war, because it feels like there's some vast universe going on that we don't see who aren't.
It almost feels like they're like on the outskirts of the galaxy or something, and this is just some small thing going on. You know what I mean?
That's what the new ones I think make me feel like a bit more than the older ones.
Yeah.
That is, anyway. Because I do feel like, and even in the prequels, they go to lots of different planets and shit. They got the Senate and whatever. They got, I mean, cities, not planets, cities specifically, actually. And there's heaps of side characters and people in the background. It just feels more lived in.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's what I guess.
Even though I don't like the prequels.
I think George Lucas can build a world. Like, he can...
Well, yeah.
Even though he's not a good writer, maybe, in a lot of...
He's probably just better as, like, a concept guy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know why they don't actually go to any of the old planets. Like, and the city planet you're talking about, I'd love to see that again, like with modern film techniques and everything.
Yeah, totally.
That's Coruscant, and it looks cool.
I can't say I remembered that, but yeah,
that's how you can tell I'm a Star Wars nerd.
You fucking nerd! Get out of my house.
But why don't they go to any of the old planets? I feel like they could even make money off that, get some nostalgia points.
That's true, actually. For something that is so invested in nostalgia and trying to cash out on all this shit. That's actually kind of weird.
It's weird.
But it kind of just feels like they're either in space or they're in, like, a Tatooine place.
Yeah.
or, like, somewhere
weird,
else for, like, 2 seconds. I don't know.
Palpy planet. Yes, welcome to my planet.
Hang on.
It's very...
Wait a minute. Was that on a planet? Yeah, it must have been.
It's like...
Or was that in a ship?
Exegol?
I thought we were in, like, a spaceship. See? There's no geography going on. And maybe that's part I'm an idiot, but I also feel like maybe the movie did a bad job.
Yeah, no, I think the movie... Yeah, I don't know. It didn't feel easy to tell where they were.
The world didn't feel structured. The story didn't feel structured. Nothing. Everything was wasted. Halloran's such a good character. I love him.
Yeah.
I want to kiss him.
He's my favourite character
Halloran.
as well from the new ones.
Anyway, point is, Ray...
Why does he have a helmet again?
Swap. He has a helmet again because it looks cool, dude.
It does look cool, but... I thought he was like, yeah, I'm done with helmets. I'm a big boy now. I've graduated from that.
Graduated from helmet school, bitches. What's up? How good was the scene with him and Han?
That was good.
It was touching.
I thought it wasn't Harrison Ford.
I was so surprised that it was him.
I don't think it is.
You don't think it is? Is it like animated or something?
I feel like they've used footage because I don't think he wanted to be in any more movies.
Nah, he's a big old grump. I know him personally.
His voice though, it sounded wrong because to me, I don't know, no one else has said, but I was watching that scene and it just felt like the Leia scenes to me.
Oh.
I wasn't sure if they used stock because they could have just
they did for Leia, yeah.
It looked similar to his scene on the bridge, and I wondered if they've just reused that. And I could be wrong. I
think you are wrong, to be honest, but it's an interesting point. But yeah, no, that's what they did with Leia. And we said before off camera we weren't going to talk about Leia because I don't care. But but every scene with her was like a template where obviously there wasn't much they could do. I guess they did a good job for what they could, but it's like, okay, we got this scene of her saying, "The Force is the best." Now we need to work our way around that and like have that make sense in context of this story, which just, again, there's not much you can do, but it doesn't really work well, does it?
I never gave a shit about Leia in the new movies either. She had a bit of sass in the originals, you know?
Yeah, that's true,
she's
actually.
kind of lost. I don't know, she doesn't seem like the same person. I guess she's older, so she's bound to be...
I guess that's what happens with these characters when they want to make them mature. They're like, okay, now I'm just...
Yeah.
Soldier boy.
Like, it's fine. I don't have a big problem
Superman
with the character, but...
It's a good joke. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably about it, right?
I don't know what else to say. There's probably heaps of stuff we're forgetting.
Yeah.
Heaps of strong opinions we have. But this video already goes for like 40 minutes or some shit at the moment, and I gotta edit this shit. So,
I feel bad for you.
Nah, it's fine.
How dare you?
I like editing. But it's not gonna be out for a while. Well, for you it will be out when you see it. But for you, it's gonna be a while.
Oh no.
Star Wars might not even exist anymore by the time it's out.
How could this happen to me?
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Losers. Wouldn't want to be here.
Yeah, fuck you. No, I don't know why we're giving you the thing. Bye.